Putin News Today. Friend of Putin predicts most likely nuclear strike. A nuclear attack is very likely imminent, according to Viktor Medvedchuk, a friend of Russian President Vladimir Putin, in light of the continuing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. Ever since Moscow's full-scale invasion of Ukraine in February 2022, Putin and other Russian officials have threatened nuclear escalation against Kyiv and its Western allies on multiple occasions. Vladimir Putin issued a stern warning about Russia's strategic nuclear forces are in a condition of full preparedness at his annual State of the Nation address last month. Additionally, he cautioned that the deployment of Western forces to Ukraine, as proposed by French President Emmanuel Macron last month, posed the real danger of nuclear war. Putin continued by saying that Western countries must understand that we also have weapons that can hit targets on their soil. A nuclear war and the annihilation of human civilization are serious possibilities as a result of all this. It's obvious to everyone. Having said so earlier this month, Macron seems to have recanted his remarks regarding sending troops to Ukraine. France is not now contemplating sending troops to Ukraine, Macron stressed in an interview with the Czech news outlet Novinky.cz. When asked about sending soldiers, I responded that anything is possible, he recounted. We are discussing and studying all possible ways to support Ukraine, particularly on Ukrainian territory. However, this does not imply that we are contemplating the idea of sending French troops to Ukraine in the near future. Pro-Russian Ukrainian lawmaker Medvedchuk, who was deported to Russia in 2022 in return for Ukrainian prisoners of war, reportedly stated on Friday that a nuclear strike is most certainly imminent as the West asserts its right to world supremacy. According to Russian news agency TASS.no, amount of human capital from Ukraine will be sufficient if the Western world as a whole insists on its claim to dominate the world. We will inevitably have to bring in foreign troops if we maintain our policy of war to the very end. Additionally, he warned that a nuclear attack was inevitable. If the crisis were to escalate, though, Medvedchuk does not rule out the possibility of involvement from non-European nations. Obviously, the Arab world is becoming entangled in the conflict, and subsequently, China and India will follow suit, as they do not have any problems deploying troops. For comment, Newsweek has emailed the Russian Defense Ministry, given the nuclear stakes, a direct confrontation between Russia and NATO is inconceivable, according to Western officials such as President Joe Biden, German Chancellor Olaf Scholz, and NATO Secretary-General Jens Stoltenberg. But Putin and the Kremlin have always painted their conflict in Ukraine as an act of aggression against the collective West. The West miscalculated and ran into the firm position and determination of our international people, Putin said in his annual speech to government officials, members of parliament, and senior civil society organizations. Meanwhile, commanders in the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, are sounding the alarm that open hostilities with Russia are a genuine possibility, giving the West 3 to 10 years to get ready for battle. This is especially true along the alliance's extensive border with Russia. Putin, on the other hand, called such warnings nonsense. Russian President Vladimir Putin remarked, at the same time they themselves are determining targets for bombing our land, in reference to Scholz's revelation that British and French servicemen are assisting Ukrainian forces target Russian positions with Storm Shadow/Scalp cruise missiles.